What's up, everybody? Nate Allball here, head football coach, Judah Christian School.
Tim Turner, head football coach at the Champaign High School.
One of the Champaign High Schools.
And our guy,
David Freeze.
David Freeze. I don't think he gets enough credit around here.
No.
David works his tail off.
He's got a hard job, man. And look, Coach Craig sabotaged him. He ripped his hands and the World Series trophy off.
Yes.
We'll have to work on that.
Yeah,
oh, hit that sound off. That's right here. I can see we got our second monitor over here, and I can see our camera just froze. It's going to be one of those shows, huh?
That's okay. If the camera freezes, guys, it'll take us about 20 seconds or so to get that thing figured out. Bear with us, and we'll get it fixed as quickly as possible. Pretty sure you can still hear the sound. Looks like we got maybe one guy watching so far. Please check in with us, guys. The whole purpose of doing this thing live is that we get a little interaction. We get to talk a little ball with some guys. We never claim to be geniuses or be able to teach anything. We just want to talk a little bit of football with you.
Well, today is the third play of Christmas, and on the third play of Christmas, we decided that it is Counter Trey.
Counter Trey.
Now, we don't want to say that we're not ranking these 12 plays of Christmas. After the 12 plays of Christmas, we may need to actually rank them. Okay, so I can see that I'm going to need to adjust this video. We're going to go ahead and switch cameras here already. So we had problems. Sorry. Some days this camera works perfectly. And some days,
not so
this
much.
Camera is butt. And I can't figure out why some days it's great and why some days it's garbage. So, these are football coaches, though. They're not going to hate on us too much for having this garbage camera.
We'll be
what you really care about, coaches, is the film, right? I mean, that's got to believe what they really want.
I agree.
All right, today is Counter Trey. And yesterday was Power. As I said, we're not really ranking them. It's just 12 plays of Christmas. To me, like, I don't know, top 12 plays in football.
Yeah.
I think you could kind of say that. And then maybe after the 12 plays of Christmas, we'll have to go ahead and rank them.
Right.
Do you guys run Counter Trey?
That's a great question. We run just flat counter. We run it a little bit different than what I think a lot of people are doing. In fact, we'll be running it different than what we're seeing a lot of film of.
How do you run it?
We run our counter with, so we run our double wing. And so, you know, our counter has one of those, it comes off of our rocket action. So we've got rocket action going away, and then that counter's just coming underneath.
But do you block it? Do you pull guard and tackle?
We actually pull, because we are unbalanced, we pull power tackle and regular tackle.
Okay.
So our guard's not going, our guard is scooping, but we are pulling that power tackle and the tackle.
So what made you pull the tackles and not guard tackle?
Well, I mean, one, our unbalance, it allows us to be able to do that, and then our guys just happen to be athletic enough to do it. Right? It got to a point where if we pulled the guard, we just didn't have enough room to go. So we started leaving the guard, and we're able to pull both of those tackles, and it gave us a little bit more room on that play, and it really kind of helped out. Early on, we kind of did it with just with guard and tackle, but it didn't give us enough room, and our power tackle was out there and not giving us much help. You know, he was just kind of there, right? So we figured out a way to use him, and it really helped out with our counter play.
Well, for us, when we started running counter initially as a wing T team, for us personally, sorry, I had to fix my battery there, guys. When we started running counter initially, we wanted to pull tackle and tight end. Right? And for you, tackle, power tackle. But we wanted to pull tackle, tight end because as a wing T team, we know how much everybody's all over our guards.
Sure.
They're going to be, right? Yep. So pulling tackle and tight end, for us, we felt like gave us this new wrinkle. It's that slight little bit extra difficulty to prepare for. That's what we felt. Sure. So that's why we went with tackle, tight end instead of guard tackle. Now, we got some clips here. Pulling mostly from people that we've played against over the years. A lot of our time together at Champaign Central. And we're pulling those clips together and just obviously talking through some coaching points of counter. We used Peoria yesterday. As we said, if you're going to run power, we think power and counter are going to go hand in hand. So here is 2015 state champs, Peoria High School. Nope, 2016 state champs, Peoria High School, running Counter Trey. Out of their pistol stuff, again, they were running, power is their power counter, right? So they're going to come here, run power. We talked about this little skip pull. They would lead to the first available hole. But now they're going to run counter. Easy little change up. Going to come here. Bang, bang. With guard tackle. And the killer about this is if you don't read guards in any way, shape, or form, this right here to this point with that fullback and this halfback looks identical to power.
Power, yeah.
Right? So
exactly
those first two steps out of those two backs, power and counter, are identical.
Yeah, yeah.
So in that way, I feel like they're forcing you to read their guards.
Right, right.
Now, if you're going to have a team that's going to, I feel like if you can mandate or you can dictate that they're going to read your guards, well, now you just gain some power because now you know you could influence with your guards.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? If you can mandate that a team is going to have to read your guards, now you use that against them, pull guards away, run the ball the other way.
Yep.
Right? And so I think wing T teams are notorious for that maybe. But I that's one thing where I do feel like influencing is easier out of the gun. I don't think it's any secret. People know we're under center guys.
Right.
But I think influencing with guards is easier from the gun.
Yeah.
Just because there's no, when you pull guards opposite when you're under center, you got to have a real plan of how you're going to take that ball opposite of guards.
Right.
Right.
Get
but when you're in the gun and you get that 5 yards of cushion, you can pull those guards opposite and do so much opposite of it. I mean, you could read that end.
Right.
You could pull guards away and read the end that you pulled guards away from.
Right, and it's hard to stop that thing.
So there's so much you can do. I think influencing is easier out of the gun, but who knows? Somebody could probably, I guess, argue against that, and I could buy it too.
Right. Looks like we got a couple more guys watching, Coach. Again, coaches, as you check in on us, please leave some comments. Check in, let us know who you are, where you're from. Coach Allball, Coach Turner, we're talking the third play of Christmas today, and it's counter Trey.
Yep. Yesterday when Al was on, guys were commenting, so
Yeah.
they must like him more than they like
Well,
him.
I mean, that's possible. I mean, I'm a little intimidating, with all of this handsomeness. It's a little intimidating to watch all of this.
That's what it is.
And comment,
Now, here they are again. So, same play, different time in the game. Look at that. Just coming straight downhill with this. This is what I like about pistol. I'm not a pistol guy, but this is what's deadly about it. Look at this pistol back, comes straight downhill. And that counter, I mean, he barely even needs to change directions to run this counter.
Right, it's a flat path for it.
Watch this tackle right here. So this is us over here at Central when Timmy and I were coaching together. Our linebacker here, our stack linebacker, comes to penetrate inside of this tackle. Watch how easily this tackle right here picks him up and just washes him down. Wash.
I mean, it has a little bit to do with the size difference as well. I mean,
but you're going to deal with that as a
True.
football coach.
Yeah,
The size
right.
difference is real.
You're
and then
right.
watch our defensive end right here. He steps outside, and it's an easy kick out for them.
Yeah, he's lost.
Now,
there.
we got whooped in this game, 74-49.
Yeah, forgot all about that whooping.
Coach checked in. Thanks, Jeremy Reynolds. From what? I better read this so that you don't say it wrong. Okay, you do it.
I got Jeremy Reynolds from French Lick, Indiana. That's Larry Bird, French Lick, Indiana.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah,
Larry
French
Bird was
Lick.
from French Lick.
He's the head coach at Crawford County High School.
Oh, man, good to have you, Jeremy. Thanks for checking
joining us,
in,
Jeremy.
man. Hey, I'll tell you what. Coach T messes up almost every name, and he didn't mess that one up.
I got it.
Thanks, Larry Bird. Oh, speaking of Larry Bird, before we do this, since these guys know who Al Craig is, Al Craig, the other coach, is convinced that Larry Bird was not a good athlete and could not play in the NBA today.
What?
Al Craig. Come on, take it up with Al Craig.
He's crazy.
That's what he said. Yeah. Larry Bird couldn't play football.
Oh, Jeremy's saying Larry Bird couldn't play football?
Yeah, but Craig says Larry Bird couldn't play in the NBA today.
I don't know about that. See, sometimes Craig just says some things to be controversial, and I think that's maybe
he
what's going on
believes it
here.
with his whole heart. Okay, let's move on. This is counter. Jeremy, thanks for checking in. Do you guys run counter Trey, and what do you run counter Trey out of, Jeremy? So these guys are the kings of counter Trey. But here's what killed us in this game. So they put up 74 on us. This is their state championship year. I was feeling pretty rotten about that till they set the state record in the first round of the playoffs when they scored 96.
Right.
And in the state championship game against a team from up north who had won the previous week in the semifinals 10-2.
Yeah.
That's how good their defense was. They scored 60 on them.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, this offense was probably the best high school offense I've ever seen. But that week in practice on Tuesday, our Mike linebacker breaks a bone in his back. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
So he's out. So we got 3 days to prepare our new Mike, who, bless his heart, did a great job. But our Mike was the man.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for that. He wasn't ready for what it would take to put up with this team.
Yeah.
I mean, had we been playing a different team on our schedule that week, maybe. But for this particular team, he wasn't ready for that.
We needed our dude. We didn't have him. But you'll see. Watch how nice a job he does reading guards. You can tell he's not reading backs. Shot out of a cannon. Look at that. He doesn't even take a false step towards the fullback in the back action. See that, Mike?
Just
Everybody
right
watching this, Mike? These are the things. I mean, I guess we're kind of bragging right now because you coach that defense too.
Hey,
look at that.
Those guys got to the ball.
He doesn't even falsely lean.
Yeah,
we don't fit up terrible to this, but it's just a little bit too much, man. Look what they do to our nose guard. Yeah. Watch our nose guard, everybody. Everybody see eyes on nose guard? Watch that nose guard. Vroom. 7 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, they chewed us.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
All right, Jeremy says we run a lot of power and counter out of double wing.
Double wing, yeah.
Spin.
Spin.
As in, you're in gun and you spin? I mean, when I hear spin, that's kind of how I interpret it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to wait to hear back from Jeremy. While we do, watch this cute little counter here. I call it cute. I guess I shouldn't say cute. I think cute might imply that I don't think it's sharp.
Right.
This is a sharp little counter out of the wing tee. Not your common wing tee counter. Okay. This is Notre Dame. Peoria Notre Dame is one of the best wing tee teams in our state, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And watch this nice little counter play. I just thought this is unique. They bring this wing away and counter back out of it. Look at that. Nice little counter tray. Create room. Yeah, if you're a team where counter tray is in your system, this is a nice, easy way to run it. Mm-hmm. Look at that. Quarterback just reverses out with the motion. Right? Look at our middle linebacker. Our middle linebacker's not fooled at all. You can tell he's trusting his guards. But our hound behind him, watch him. He's fooled. He's not reading his guards.
He's not reading at all, is he?
Right? And that costs us, and that's why the play goes. So, counter tray, super versatile. You can see Jeremy Reynolds says, yes, gun. I'll tell you what.
Yes.
If I'm gun and I'm spin, absolutely, power counter. I mean, that's deadly combo. How tight are your splits, Jeremy? I'm curious about that. All right, so this is our wing tee, right? Back when we were together. And we take our dude. This is our dude who still plays for you. I'm super jealous.
Yeah, and he's still a dude.
Normally out of our wing tee, he's going to be right here, right?
Yeah.
But we're like, okay, you're really good. We need to feature you a little bit. Oh, Reynolds is foot to foot. I'll tell you what, man. That's
like
just,
said about that.
Here we come.
Yeah, come on. Let's go try to stop us.
Yeah. What I like about foot to foot is it's easier to get that guard and tackle across because the one thing that'll kill counter, a little pause from this, thing that kills counter is penetration.
Yeah.
Right? That's what's going to kill your counter. And when you're foot to foot, you don't have the penetration. Or at least it's way harder to get penetration.
Right. It's a lot more more stuff going on in the middle there that clogs that stuff up that you're not able to get as much penetration.
Well, good little way to run counter here. If you got that real special halfback, and when you're in the wing tee, your halfback once in a while can be a little limited because he's offset. So we would just shift him to the eye, and we're going to run counter. We just do this cross-step plant, crossover plant. Watch 10's footwork. This is our tailback's number 10. Watch his feet. Boom. Explode. Here we are pulling tackle tight end. Okay, everybody see that? We want to pull tackle tight end. Now, again, we pulled tackle tight end only because we knew teams were going to be all over our guards. We knew we could get our tackle and tight end across, so we wanted to mess with people, right? We want them to have a hard time. They can't just tee off on our guards, right? Look at our tight end getting through the hole. You got a real special back. He's going to make people miss. Here it is out of the 8-man game. This team was Illinois 8-man state champs. And, again, they don't even have a 5-man surface up front. They got 1 man here on this backside. Let me run it back. They go center and a 1-man surface, and then 2 on this side. So you're going to get a double team right here, and then here you go, pull kick, pull lead, good looking play for them.
Yeah, that is a good looking little play. Here, and what I like about that one is the way that they hit it tighter. Right, so often when I see counter, a lot of times teams want to run that thing a little bit wider. When I think it should hit as tight as possible, and then allow that athlete to get outside if that's what if that's where the green grass is. But most of the time, well, not most of the time, but often you see teams getting way too wide on that.
I mean like we talked about yesterday with power. A good power team is coached, and you can see that back how disciplined he is. That he's not going to bounce it outside no matter what. Yeah. Here's the same team running the same play, just bringing that jet motion, right?
Q counter, huh?
That Q counter out of the gun with this jet motion is a killer. A ton of spread teams run it, rightfully so. This, bringing that jet motion, running Q counter, or just that power flash that we talked about yesterday, man, it's a deadly, really deadly combo. Now, I wish I could just get like a blank slate here to draw from people. Right? I want to just draw. But in our counter tray, the way we would run it, look, I can't even draw my... Here, you entertain the crowd while I get my mouse out.
Yes. Crowd, I'll be entertaining you. The way I'll be entertaining you is we'll be talking about a little bit of counter. We've been talking about it all day. Really, guys, I think it's a really great play that goes along with a lot of stuff. For us, we run it with our rocket or our jet series a little bit, right? We'll run rocket away, and then that counter will come underneath. Again, we're out of a double wing set, so our wing will be the one that takes that counter. From where you just seen this last play, where Nate put that fullback or that tailback back here, that guy for us would be here, right? So as that play is going in, as things are happening, I have a guy coming in motion here. He's coming underneath there on that counter. So it's a really deadly play, guys. I could talk a little bit more about it, but if I'm being honest, I can't talk a lot about it because first year, right? So I only really know the counter that we did.
Let me tell you about our coaching points for counter. One of our wrinkles. I can't get my little mouse trick to my cool, my pencil mouse to work. That makes drawing super easy. All right, we're bird's eye view. 5-man service right here. Everybody with me, coaches? Look at that. I can't even draw circles with this dumb mouse. All right. When we're going to run counter Trey, this was us. Our rule was most teams are going to like double team the first man outside of the guard, right? They want to double team right here. We actually wanted to kick the first man outside of there.
Okay.
And what we did, his rule became wash A. So if there's a guy in the A gap, which we got a ton, because, why? We were running it away from tight end.
Correct.
So we then, because we were running it, because we played with a tight end, we could bank more often on having that 2-eye player to the weak side. Right? Because it's hard to play a 3 to the weak side and a 2-eye to the strong side against us. Sure. It's possible. If you're running an under front out of the 4-3, it's possible, but we don't get as much. Right. We certainly get way more of this. So we wanted our double team here. Okay? And what we told this man here was, we want you to get all the way to A gap and wash this. Okay? What we wanted was, we were going to bank on flow. Okay? First of all, this guy right here, this linebacker, we have a tight end pulling to block him. Okay? Because the tackle's going to pull and kick. So it was only this linebacker that we were worried about. And for us, we're going, listen, if that linebacker is getting nosy, then most of our plays to the play side need to be working. Right. Because again, we're not pulling a guard, so it's cloudy for this guy, so he should hesitate. So we're going to wash A. If when you get to A gap, that guy is taken care of, now you can climb.
To the backer.
That's why our rule was called wash A, climb. Wash A, climb. What we didn't want was him to climb, and what I say was that one thing that kills counter?
Penetration.
Penetration, baby. And then he goes to climb, and this guy gives us like a gap move to the outside, and all of a sudden it's screwed, right? So we like that. I like that wash A. And then once in a while, I wish I could just totally delete this, but so let's stay on that weak side with me, okay? Center, guard, right here, and tackle. Let's say we would get this guy here in a B gap, okay? Well, now, again, this guy would usually be blocking back now because now the 2 eyes on this side. Now, this guy's going to continue on to that linebacker. And because we're pulling Tackle and tight end now. Oh, I hate drawing on this thing.
It's working, though.
But because we're pulling tackle and tight end now, see, that's that standard kick out distance for that guard normally. So it's really a fairly easy kick out for him.
Yep, that he's used
to.
to.
And now we're going to move this man on. Again, because what's the number one thing that kills counter? Penetration. And this guy playing out in a 3 technique, wide side, was harder to cut off penetration. So he said, the heck with you. If you're playing a 3 to our weak side, you're penetrating usually anyway. We're going to let you go. And we'll kick inside you and go.
Yep.
All right, so there's a couple of my little coaching points for counter Trey for us. We still consider that counter Trey. Some people would call that, some people will do this. They'll make a gate call, guard and tight end.
Okay.
G-A-T-E.
Okay.
And now you can leave this tackle, and you're going to pull your guard and lead with your tight end. Good tight end can get that done. A lot of teams will kind of check that at the line. Say, which one of these are we going to run right now at the line? Anyway, we've talked some counter. Counter is the 3rd play of Christmas. This is our Christmas countdown, 12 plays of Christmas countdown to the kickoff of the 2019 online clinic.
That's the background noise right there.
Yes. Okay. What's your best counter play?
My best counter play, like I said, is we go from off our rocket, counter underneath.
It's not crisscross?
It is crisscross, but okay. I didn't want to talk about it because we're going to talk about it later. I'm talking about it in my presentation. I'm trying to hold on to that. I want that to be something new, right? I want that to be something fresh, baby. But you know what? We can talk about it a little bit. Crisscross is my favorite, but it is the one that is the most nerve-wracking to me. We've had the conversation. It's that we run a crisscross.
How many weeks into your season before you finally called it?
Well, I mean, we talked about it. I was probably week 4. I mean, because
you didn't want to.
Well, I wanted to, but it's that double handoff. Double handoff just scares the crap out of me.
Okay, so now that you've run it, are you glad you did?
It's the best play. It's the best play. I got this. I got this from Nate, and it's the truth. He said, "Only run crisscross if you want a touchdown." Right? Don't run it unless you don't want a touchdown. And it kind of turned into a touchdown every time.
Oh, man. My wife's calling.
It's almost date night. We said it. It's time to go.
That means I better change out of my coaching gear.
Again, guys, please link us to your photos. If any of you guys are wearing your school gear out on your date nights, please let your lady or whoever with you take a flick and
the camera's here, by the way. We keep talking to that camera. Camera's here.
And please take a picture of it and send it to us. I'd love to see it. Amen
to that. All right, we'll see you guys soon. Tomorrow, I guess, for the 4th play of Christmas.
Thanks for joining us, guys. See you next time.